This program is produced by Eagle Mountain Apostolic Resource Center. To find additional episodes of this program, as well as other content, visit eaglemountain.tv.
How many muscles does it take to smile?
310.
Wow. I was going to go with more like 15.
Hey everybody, welcome to Together We Build. My name is Mr. Sin.
You apish, beast-eating abomination.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, here we go. What is a group of pigs called?
A potluck?
How are you doing there, Foxy? Finding out what you're doing after this show. Maybe we could go grab some drinks or something. What do you say?
No, thanks.
I for sure will go in there to get that. Give me that thing.
No, it's not safe in my shirt.
Right here.
From you.
Hey everyone, welcome to Together We Build. My name is Chris Behnke. I'm here with Prudence O'Hare, and I'm here also with Kim Sorrelle. Kim, I'm so excited that you have carved out a little bit of time to be with us on the show today. I'm super excited about getting into it. And in the pre-show, we were just chatting about how you're in Michigan, and that means there's a lot of snow there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm very close to Lake Michigan
Okay.
on the west side. And so lots of lake effect snow. Lots of
Oh,
snow.
man. So how long have you been in Michigan?
My whole life.
Okay. So do you like it?
I do. It's beautiful. I like the seasons, which is nice, right? But I also like to go away when it's this cold. So I'd rather be in Florida, somewhere warm right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing is we live in a time where you can do that. I mean, think about if it was 200 years ago, you'd be stuck right there, no ability to go out.
And I'd be freezing because 200 years ago, I don't think there were furnaces. Like it would be so cold.
No, there were not. There were not.
Okay, so Kim, you have children.
I have a passel of children. I have five children. And 11 grandchildren.
Oh boy. Do you get to live around them?
I live by a couple of my kids and 5 of my grandkids. The other 6 are too far away from me. I swear, Prudence, that when my kids were 4 years old, I made them sign a paper saying they'd never move more than 2 miles away. But they did. They moved anyway. I can't find the paper. I know, it's terrible.
Oh, my goodness. A passel, like officially, a passel is definitely 5. I think 4 is a lot, but a passel is definitely more.
That's what I'm going with too. When we travel as a large crowd. It's like we could be our own tour.
Have you ever been able to go anywhere with a whole bunch of the kids and the grandkids, like a double passel? Like, have you done that?
Yes. Yeah. We've gone to Disney World.
Oh my goodness. That is all the way.
Yes.
That's serious. So how many was your group at Disney World?
18.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing. Did you do the whole same colored shirt thing?
We didn't. That probably would have been wise. Maybe we would have not lost anybody because then we got down to 17. Who knows where he is? Probably on It's a Small World or something. But it all worked out okay somehow.
18. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking at all this information about you. I'm so glad that we're on the show together. We're just meeting Kim for the first time, but this says, I'm a cancer surviving, entertaining widow and an expert on love. I dish up inspiration with a side of humor and a life application for dessert. That is absolutely fantastic. I love that. What do you think about that, Prudence?
Oh, yes. You're my kind of woman.
I think that's amazing. Okay, so let's see if someone like that can beat you, Prudence, at trivia. What do you think?
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so
Geography.
Kim,
that always makes me feel very small.
listen, I got to just do what's on this website, this random trivia website. So I just have this random trivia, and we're going to start with this one, which happens to be trivia question number 45.
Okay.
What is the national dish of Italy?
Oh, well,
Don't overthink it.
I would guess pasta.
Okay, so Kim says pasta. Prudence, what do you say?
Pasta?
You guys both score 100%. It is pasta.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of lame trivia. Like it should, like, it's
Yeah, I was thinking,
too
was it lasagna? You know, what
Yeah,
kind
too
of
obvious.
pasta?
We
But-
know it's not spaghetti with meatballs because that's not actually a real Italian dish. That's something Americans made. Okay, here's the next one. So you guys are so far tied. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. What is the world's largest land animal?
Oh, an elephant?
Yep, you guys are both right. They say African elephant, but like I think just elephant is a totally so far you guys are tied. You're both lining up in the super genius category. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Prudence, you're not going to like this. Kim, I don't know if you will or not, but what planet in our solar system has the most moons?
Yeah, no, I don't really like that. I have a son who works for NASA. Can I call him real quick?
You can't. If you can get them, if you can get them. Hey, what planet? What
Did,
planet? Most
oh,
moons?
I'm going to guess. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to say Pluto.
Pluto. I
Yeah,
mean,
It's not a
Pluto.
planet anymore,
Great
but that's
question.
Great guess. That's
Great
a great. I was going to
guess.
say
Honestly, don't even ask me a question because I'm not even like I'll make something up. Clown world.
I'm going to go with Uranus because I know that one of the moons
Yeah.
is named Cordelia, and I've
Okay.
heard Cordelia. So
It's not. It's Jupiter, but it's. I'm going to give you, Kim. I'm going to say you're the winner here because Jupiter's the right answer. But Pluto, when we all grew up, Pluto was a planet. But like later on, like I think 10 years ago, they decided that Pluto wasn't really big enough to be a planet.
I missed that memo.
So it doesn't. Not only does it not have any moons, it's not even a planet. So
exactly. Well, and I think Pluto actually is Mickey Mouse's yellow dog.
that's correct. That's okay. Last one. This is your chance to make a comeback. How many muscles does it take to smile?
310.
Wow. I was going to go with more like 15.
All right, Kim again wins. Even though the answer is 17, it is significantly more accurate than 310.
That's awesome.
So,
Getting things wrong though helps me learn.
okay, what's the answer?
Next
How many
time,
is it?
17.
17. Okay, I got to pull up Google real quick. How many muscles does it take to frown?
Oh,
11. So it takes more muscles to smile.
takes more power to smile.
I feel like it should be the opposite because then you could use it, right? You could say, oh, it takes less muscles to smile.
Yeah. That's one you can't use with the grandkids, Kim. You can't say it takes less muscles to smile because it doesn't. It takes less muscles to frown. Let's get it. You guys want to get into the actual topic and get off this trivia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we
Let's
do.
do that. Okay. All right. So Kim, I'm excited to dig into this. I think one of the most overused things in today's language is the word love. And I feel like you're someone that has written about it, talked about it, really dug into it. But you do it from the standpoint, I think we'll find out, of a more real, practical, and lighthearted approach. And I'd love for you to just kind of set the stage for us, and then we'll just leapfrog from that. When we think about love in today's society, what are we missing? How should we be thinking about it?
Yeah, but before you do that, Kim, tell us a little bit about who you are and what drove you to learning about this and finally delivering to the world a book on it.
Well, the reason that I wrote this, the reason that I lived this, did this journey is I was diagnosed with cancer, and 4 months later, my husband was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh,
And 6 weeks later, he passed away. And he was such a great guy. He was the guy that chased God his whole life. Like he just wanted more and more and more. And I wanted to know that I was living a life that would honor him. And so I thought, well, gosh, how do I do that? I was 47 years old and single, like so unexpected. We were going to be those 90-year-olds sitting on a porch drinking lemonade or whatever 90-year-olds do on a porch, right?
Yeah.
And so I had to figure it out. And so I thought, well, if I could understand love, truly understand it and live it, like that would be the way to live, because God is love. Not God loves, God is love, created in his image. So that means we're love. But what does that mean? So I started investigating, like looking it up, and everybody, I think really you could put 12 people in a room and get 12 different answers to what is love.
Yeah.
So I decided I would do a deep dive and take 1 Corinthians 13, love is patient, love is kind, does not envy, does not boast, etc., and take one word or phrase a month and figure out, well, what is love that is patient? What is love that is kind?
Wow, that's cool.
And yeah, and I was in Haiti the majority of the time I was working on it. So it kind of made things a little more interesting. But what I found out just blew my mind, changed my life.
Wow. So now I got to ask, why were you in Haiti? For how long were you in Haiti?
Well, when I was able to finally physically go back to work, I'd been working for a nonprofit. And so I went back into the nonprofit world. And so I started January 1st, 2010. I was finally able to go back to work. And 12 days later, there was an earthquake in Haiti that killed 200,000 people. So within 2 weeks, I was there in Haiti. And then for the next 7 years, spent at least part of every month in Haiti.
Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. That gives you an incredible perspective on everything going through that.
Yeah, that's a tough place to go. We've both been there, and it's not an easy place to live.
No, it sure isn't. It is a tough place to go, but I love it. I love the people, right? It's all about the people wherever you go in the world. And awesome people, but yeah, very tough place to live.
Yeah.
Do you still go?
Well, it's been so dangerous. Right now, gangs have taken over the country. And so I haven't been in a few years just because they killed the president a couple years ago.
Yep.
Like it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. And so I feel like if I go, I'm kind of a target, right? For kidnapping, for whatever. So I'd put everybody I know's life in danger if I were with them. So no, I have not gone. I can't wait to be able to go back again and things settle down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I think one of the most powerful things when you're trying to press into something new, learn something, at a deeper level, like going after this concept of love the way that you did, things that give perspective like that really heighten your ability to do that. So that's super cool. So one of the things that you've kind of said is love kind of it affects absolutely everything, and understanding that is so important. Can you speak to that? Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, well, one of the things that I discovered about love is quite often we think it's a feeling, right? And that's what it is. It's something you can fall in and out of, and it's something that you feel. And I realize that's not what it is. Like if you watch a scary movie, I don't know if you guys have ever watched a scary movie, and then that night you go to bed and you hear every creak and every bump and you're scared all night long, right? Yeah. But that's fear, which is a feeling, an emotion, and that goes away. Otherwise, we'd be scared every night to go to bed. But love never goes away. Love is with you always. And it really is who you are. It is walking, talking, living, breathing. It is who you are, and how you walk it and talk it and give it is up to you.
Yeah, man, that's so good. That is so good. Prudence, did you have a question? Looked like you were going to ask something.
So, how did this study and new revelation on love, how did this um, change just how you did life? And like, was it like a quick change? Was it slow change? Was it just like after all of these different revelations, you're watching yourself become a different person? What was the actionable steps of all of that in yourself personally?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I started out with Love is Patient, and I worked on it all month. So then when I got to the next month, I was working on what I found out about Love is Patient, and then the next month working on Kind and Patient. And so yeah, there was certainly this evolution that I went through figuring it out, because I think we're taught like one thing about love that helped me to really get my mind around it and then really be able to just walk it the way it should be is that I discovered, it's going to shock you, but I discovered that we only control ourselves. We don't control anybody else.
Right.
And so, you bring a baby home from the hospital, you have all the control. You decide when they eat, when they take a bath, right? But then 5, 6, 7 months later, your Tupperware is all over the kitchen floor and pots and pans are banging, and you've realized you've lost all control and you never get it back again. And that's the truth throughout our whole life. We only control ourselves. And, sometimes you hear love's a two-way street, or you give love to get love. And it's not. If you are giving love, thinking that then love will come back to you, then you're expecting it a certain way and you're setting yourself up for disaster. So I think that really hit me, that love is 100% on me. And it doesn't have anything to do with how I'm being treated, how anything else is going on in life. It is 100% on me.
Yeah.
Are there some things that you found that you thought was love, but then realized it wasn't? Was there some revelations of that?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think a lot of it goes back to love being transactional. And it's not. I mean, it's not transactional. If I give you money, you give me a pair of jeans, that's a transaction. Yes. If I give you love to get love, then it's not love, right? And so it's interesting how we think of love as the separate thing from us, when really it is us, right? And so so definitely there were things that I used to think were love that I went, wow, man, that's not love. Or I used to think too that you had to like people to love them, and you don't. The good news there is you don't.
Good news. It's really good news.
That is good news.
You're not going to like everybody, right? Like, it's not going to be your best friend, but you can still love them.
Yes. And the world often doesn't see it that way. You see that you got to include that too, or it isn't love. Right? Yeah.
That's good.
So, I think that really going on a personal journey to discover what we think is love is really important. Just because it seems to be very much the basis of who God is overall, that is why he did everything that he did for us, right? Is that foundational piece of love, and is so many different aspects to who he is and what that means. And tell the audience why it's so important for them to dive into this specific subject and grab a hold of what love means in God's eyes.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes we complicate it, right? Because there's different words for love, agape, et cetera, right? but it doesn't have to be that complicated.
Yeah.
You know, love is just something you are and you give and you live. And so it doesn't have to be something that we're like, well, I love you with agape love, but I love you with some other kind of love. Like it's okay to just love people, right? And I think it's just so life transforming for so many reasons. It's so freeing when you know the real truth about love. Because you've probably heard people, I've heard people say, oh, I love everybody, right? You hear people say, I love everybody, but those darn Democrats or those silly Republicans, right?
Yeah. Oh,
well,
yeah.
then you don't love everybody. And right, those are clubs people belong to. They're associations they're in. It's not who they are. You know, you are who you are, period. You know, like I should be known as Kim, not Kim the dog walker,
Right.
you know,
Fill in the
whatever.
blank. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. So you're saying that love should be tied significantly more to our identity than it usually is in our culture. Is that kind of how you're saying it?
My gosh, that's such a great way to put it. Yes, 100%. 100%. Yeah. And I think what goes along with that too is, you know, we're not supposed to judge people, right?
Right.
And so letting people be who they are,
right,
giving people grace and mercy and love and everything good, and let people be who they are. You're not going to change them anyway, right? Like,
right, totally.
It's a slow move to change anybody, and then you can get that grace back at you and be exactly who you believe you're created to be.
Yeah, that's so good. I love that. So it kind of ties into this, you know, one of the things that I see on your website, which by the way, we'll put the link to Kim's website on the show notes. But if you're not where you can get to that, it's just kimsorrelle.com, which is SORRELLE.com, kimsorrelle.com. But on there, you have this thing where you say this 14-day love challenge. And I just clicked on it and I'm just looking at it. But so why did you set this up this way? Tell us about this, because I haven't done it, so I'm not positive, but I feel like it's a perfect expression of kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, well, the reason I did it is, first of all, the very first thing that I figured out about that whole beautiful poem, Love is Patient, Love is Kind, whatever, because I dedicated a year. I thought I'll dedicate a year, which I have to confess that I have a hard time committing to an entree when I go out for dinner. So to commit a year to something was a huge stretch for me. But then I found out there are actually 14 is's and isn't of love. So it took me longer than a year. And that's why the 14-day love challenge. So each day is one of the things in there.
That is so cool. So in this challenge, not to get too off on the challenge, but in this challenge, what do you do? So it says day one, love is patient. And what do you do? You have to go through something, read something. How does it work?
Yeah, it's short. It's easy. But I describe what love is patient means. Because another thing I found out is that you put love is or love is not in front of anything and it changes the meaning. So like we know what patience is, right? You're not yelling at your 5-year-old because you're trying to get to church and they can't find their shoes or, you know, whatever, you're being cool in a traffic jam. But love that is patient is entirely different than just patient.
Right. Oh, that's super good. I love that. Yeah. So if you're listening to this and this is interesting to you, you feel like you need to dig into kind of understanding love at a deeper level, I would encourage you to go through this. It looks really awesome. Prudence, did you have another question? Because I have some questions here also, but I love talking about this because I think there's such an incorrect understanding of the depth of what love really is in our society today. And it's really limits us from having a good understanding of God, having a good understanding of ourselves. And I love that you talk about it that way. Prudence, did you have a question?
I don't really have a question at this moment. But yeah, I would say that the idea of love that society has produced has been very confusing. And of course, I believe all done on purpose for
Yeah.
to derail who God really is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I was just, as you were thinking this, I was thinking, a lot of people say that love is the answer to everything. And immediately as I was thinking that, I was thinking of is it the Beatles? All you need is love. That's the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
And then, that's just kind of this really hollow, not accurate sediment in the Beatles song. Like what that kind of mentality is kind of in a lot of ways the opposite of love. And what I hear you talking about, Kim, is kind of this more an expression of how God has designed us that is kind of in alignment with who we are, that just is like we are love expressed that way. Is that a good way to think about it? Like, how would you say that?
Yeah, I think that is a good way to think about it. There was a whole WWJD thing, right? That everybody was wearing a bracelet or they had a bumper sticker or something.
Yes, remember it.
Yeah, yeah. But Jesus is different to everybody. So to some, he's a heretic. To some, he's a prophet. Even among Christians, Jesus is looked at differently. To some, like me, he's love and light and peace and everything wonderful and great. But to other people, he's a angry God with a heavy hand, right? But love is universal. And so instead, if you said, what would love do? And then live your life that way, answer that question that way, then we should all be doing the same thing.
I love that. So you're saying you can help people with kind of an inaccurate picture of who Jesus is, have a better picture of who Jesus is by helping them understand that he's actually the perfect expression of love. Is that really what you're saying?
Yes. My gosh, I need you to just live in my head because you express things so well and so clearly.
Thank you. So I guess with that in mind, there's going to be people that are listening to this like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, Kim's got that figured out, but I don't see how this is practical to my life. How should this be expressed? What is the right way to express this in a practical way?
I think there's a lot of answers to that, but like one, if I only would have done the first month, if I only would have done Love is Patient, my life would be changed right then. And it's because love that is patient recognizes that this moment right here, right now is the most important moment of your life. What's in the past is in the past. What's in the future is yet to come. This is the most important moment. And people are the most important thing, more important than the computer or Facebook or anything else. It's people. And so whoever you're with in this moment should get your complete full attention. That's love that is patient. And I gotta admit, I stunk at this. Like I thought I could be deep in conversation while thinking about a soccer game that was later or what I was going to make for dinner, what meetings going on. And I soon realized that I was wrong because I would assume people would say something based on what I knew about them rather than actually listening to what they were saying. And when I stopped and really focused and listened, I heard things I never would have heard before.
Wow. That is massive. So what I wrote down was this moment is the most important moment. This moment should be an expression of love. But as I'm kind of thinking that through, it's more like you said a bunch more too. You said, it can't be focused on the past, can't be worried about the future. And then both of those two things I think are really critical to what you're unpacking, which is like, if I'm focused on the past, then the enemy can come in and use that against us to reverse our expression of love. by telling us all the things we did wrong or the mistakes we made, or we should have done this, we should have done that, kind of like looking at things that don't matter because like you can't change it. And then if you're worried about the future, then you're kind of like putting your faith in something that hasn't even happened yet in a way that also kind of corrupts your ability to express love in the present moment. So what I don't hear you saying is it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It doesn't none of that matters because you got to learn from that. You got to grow from that. You got to gain maturity from all that. And you're not saying that you shouldn't think about the future because none of that matters. You're not saying that either. You're saying I can't let those things define because they've already happened or they haven't happened. But right now, how can I actually be an expression of God's love to the people I'm with? And I think that that's hard to do because it's pretty easy to get frustrated with the things we've done wrong. We've gone too slow. We should have made a different decision or whatever it is, or be super worried about all the uncertainty. There's so much uncertainty out there. There's so much to be worried about. But it sounds like what you're saying is all that stuff's kind of a distraction from what's in front of you. And what's in front of you is how God's asking you to express that love. Am I reading into it too much, or what do you think about that?
Well, I think you're mostly right. I think that you can get so caught up in the past, or you can get so worried or caught up in the future, and that can be destructive. There's no doubt about it. But yes, absolutely, learn from your past, grow from your past, and plan. It's perfectly fine to plan. Your plans can change, but it's perfectly fine to plan. But when you're thinking of those moments, you're not with a human being. It's when you're with somebody to just be fully focused in that moment and on who you're with is showing love.
Yeah. To be able to express well, you have to be present, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so good. So good.
So inside your book, Kim, what will people find in a nutshell?
Well, they'll find out that I'm not always the smartest person in the world. Like, I have a friend who tells me that I'm the dumbest smart person she knows because I don't always make wise decisions. And so, like, I was chased by a motorcycle gang. I slept outside with tarantulas and snakes and whatever. I mean, some things that I did that happened in Haiti while I was going through this, I probably should have made better choices on some things. And so they'll find that for sure. But
you're here to tell the story. So it seems like it's worked out.
Right. I lived through it, learned from it. What I really want people to find is what love is, the true definition of love. And because each one is different, right? Yeah. Love is patient. Love is kind. Kind is different than kind. And it's different than love that is patient, and so on, right on and on. So to find those answers is freeing. To live a life where you recognize that Jesus said, they asked him, well, gosh, how do we know when we're sinning? There's whatever it is, 672 laws in the Old Testament. How do we know? What are we supposed to do? And he said, love God and love yourself and love everybody else. That's all you have to do. It's all we have to do. It really is all we have to do. So just love and not judge, right? Just love. And so when you do that and you realize you're not changing people, you don't have to give unsolicited advice. Right. Whatever, you can let people be who they are, just let them. And when you do that, it's just so freeing. You're just free to be you.
I love that. Kim, thank you so much. You guys listening to this, the book is Love Is, a year-long experiment in living out 1 Corinthians 13 love. I'm super excited about that you wrote this. Definitely you guys need to check it out. Go to her website. We'll put all this info in the show notes. But as we're kind of wrapping this up, Kim, what are your final thoughts? What do you want to leave people with as we kind of wrap this up? Because this is such a profound and deep topic. We could probably do 5 more episodes, but what do you want to leave people with as we kind of wrap this up?
I'd go back to WWLD. What would love do? So before you react, or before you get angry about something, or before you make a judgment about somebody, just think, what would love do? And try to react that way instead.
That is so good. That's awesome. Prudence, anything else?
No, this has been great. This is a subject that I think all of us need to be polished on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you so much for writing this book, Kim, and I'll have to get a copy and read it myself.
Yeah.
I think that this is a subject that, we're going to be adding to the knowledge of what love is all of our lives. If we're paying attention, there's always, you'll probably have enough to write another book.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
Good. All right. Well, Kim, thank you so much for being on here. If you're just finding this for the first time, you can find more episodes of Together We Build at chrisandprudence.com. You can download our app. You can find that in the Apple and Google stores as well. And you've definitely got to go to Kim's website. All that info is in the show notes. But again, if you're driving, you can't read the show notes. If you go to kimsorrelle.com, KIMSORRELLE.com, there's links to everything in there. You can find the book on Amazon. I recommend that you do. I just ordered a copy while we were on here from Amazon. So definitely you should do that as well. Kim, thank you so much for spending time with us today. It's been awesome. I think if you're listening to this and this resonates with you, share it with someone. But ultimately, you owe it to yourself to dig deeper into this. Like Kim said, God is the perfect expression of love. Jesus is the perfect expression of love. So you owe it to yourself to dig into this, learn more about this. It's super, super important for us to be able to have a good understanding of how he made us and who he is. So you can't get enough of that. And that's all I got. So see you guys on the next one. Kim, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys around.